Welcome back, Soloist. My name is Kim, and in today's video, we are going to finalize the bucket hat and the bucket bag. All right, let's begin. All right, sorry, y'all. All right, so in the last video, you know that I had to end the live because my phone, for some odd reason, was hot. Welcome in. However, thank you for being for today. I was 100%, and I'm going to be down to about 79% because a lot was going on. First, my laptop updated, unbeknownst to me, and it shut everything off just as I was going live. Secondly, I got on again, went live, everything muted up. I don't know. However, I know this is a random live. It's not scheduled, but we're going to go ahead and get it done. Whatever happens today in this live happens, but happy Saturday to everyone. I hope you are starting off the weekend well, and we're going to jump right in. So if you remember, we did the exterior of the hat. So let me bring it down so you can see. And I did not finish it because I didn't want to finish it on camera because I did have people asking me to finish it on camera. So one thing I did notice as I was telling you, this is a pattern that I did purchase, and it's my third, and once again, it's a pattern that I don't like. So what I did was I immediately began looking and researching on how to create my own. So I think I got it. That one I am going to do off camera first, and I'm going to record that one, and I'm not going to go live on that one until I am comfortable with the measurements, but I think I got it. I do have some stuff in the background. Please bear with me. I am doing some reconstruction, so don't pay attention to my background. Anyway, we're going to jump right in. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on the lining, and we're going to finish constructing the hat. Before I start on the lining, though, we need to put my logo on. So what I have done is, you already know I embroider my bags. It's giving me a little bit of my like is annoying. Maybe this is the way position. Can you see it? Is that better? Yes. So you can see I did it. I used for this particular bag, I cord, and so I just wrote my name on here. So we're going to go to center on. I actually really tired, so I am looking on today a second cup. Not always the case. It's definitely the case. Also, don't know if you remember, I'm trying to make sure that none of the top and I'm not judging you, but I had to take the I had to take the switch to line it. It wasn't long enough to line up here, and I did not want it to line in any type of form. I wanted it to be mixed as much as possible. So I did that. So we have our seeds, and oh, this is so good. Okay. This one's really that are in. And I can kind of the tag I do a really big tag on this because I didn't want to take away from the beautiful stitching. I am going to do this with a white thread, but I'm just going to kind of eyeball make sure it's straight. So we want to go ahead and get that label on because you want to put that label on prior to putting it on your line. I mean, you can do that way if you want. However, just keep in mind that you're going to see the stitch through the line. So it's best to put it on whichever one. And I did these at about an inch by 4 inches. From my logo, using both names is Bridget. If I just use the one name, it only comes out to be about 1.5. A little bit more than 1.5, about 1.75. And please just take your time. Don't rush through your label either. This is short, so there's no need to with the cord. One of the benefits of using cord, one stitch. One of the benefits of using cord, you get tell and the label. If you can tell on the label, I just use my pinking shears because cord doesn't fray. In other materials, you definitely want to make sure you seal those ends because it will fray. But that's one of the benefits of the pinking shears. I mean, the fork, you can use your pinking shears. Baby, can you do me a favor? Can you shut the door for me, please? Since you are finished. Okay. I think I can go down one stitch. Baby, can you shut the door for me, please? No, I like the one stitch back. Sometimes. Okay, there we go. I like that stitch better. I'm not liking that. I was able to pull that stitch right out. It's an easy fix. So I'm just gonna back stitch there. That's kind of weird. Because I was going to bring the stitches to the back. However, because that happened, I'm just going to go ahead and back stitch. All right. Okay, here we go. All right. So we got the label stitch. All right, so I'm happy with that. All right. I'm going to put you to the side. And I may, depending on if I can get it done, I may very well do the red back line as well. I mean, red thing. So I was having issues with the white pin. I don't know if you can see the circles on there. It's really faded. I was trying to mark it, but I can just, but that comes off. That's a heat erase pin, so that'll easily come right off. So I think I'm gonna stick with the pink lining. I use the lining for that. I'm going to use. I was going to use, and we're doing music today. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I said I'm going to do music. It's Saturday, and it's not cloudy. It's sunny, but it's a little windy in the atmosphere. And I was like, I'm going to pick you up a little while. Like I said, it's a rare thing, but it is what it is. I'm going to go ahead and get these seams stitched up for my brim. I said, I'm going to listen to the music today. How is everyone doing today? Anybody working on any craft? Welcome in. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of go a little in reverse, maybe. And I did read
I know it's a little on the comprehensive test.
I'm not gonna hear this. All right.
Okay, here is my band or AKA. They call it the frame.
So what I'm gonna do is right side together. You want to match up.
You go either way. I'm gonna remember I already cut my seams with 10 here. I'm not even going to cutting these. But I'm not even going to press them over. I'm just going to press my seams to one side. Remember when I'm lining up these seams. This is the rim and the right side together. And hopefully my phone won't get too hot today that I can actually get to the bag. I'll have to pull the bag off the side. But I have noticed that my phone is really hot. My phone is really getting hot when I'm coming on the app. When I'm getting on StreamYard to go live. It's not doing it when I'm just on my home. It didn't do it last night. I was just on the one I'm going to the channel, and it didn't do it. It's literally only doing it now for some reason when I get on StreamYard. I wasn't sure. I initially was not even going to do StreamYard. I'm going to go live through YouTube to see if it would get hot that way. But I'm just going to continue to film this, this series, I can call it, using StreamYard. But I'm going to do it also live through YouTube to see if that's straight through YouTube if it has to be. All right, so I'm going to do a little bit of stretching. And I'll fix it in a minute. Because it's a little off. And it was off when I did the. It was a little off when I did the outer, the exterior hat. I just didn't mention it to y'all. I just had that part to myself. You can do two things. You can snip the shorter form, or you can stretch the lead. The only time I would snip is if you have a tight circle like the top. I would snip that, but I would snip the rim or anything like that. Do I want to just make it a little bit smaller? Because you're not going to get much stretch with, and this is what I'm talking about with these patterns. That's why I said I really do think, and I hope this is not what people are doing, but I am really convinced that most people are using other people's patterns and trying to recreate them and putting their patterns up on them. Because most people are testing out these patterns first, because it's strange to me that none of these patterns match. It's so weird to me. I'm just going to go one thing over. But again, it's strange to me. It's like I said, this is my third pattern. I was going to, and I moved my bag because remember I kept reaching to the right, my bag on the left. I want to try, so this is my Moon Fabric. Moon Fabric I absolutely love.
I used to buy fabric down back in the day. Like I didn't use chocolate dough. So I know I should have what to do next when I was going. So I really wanted to go in for 6 months. I didn't want to buy my fabric dress. Now there was a store that was called AC Moore. I'm not sure if AC Moore is a store that was throughout the entire country. It definitely was an East Coast store. And so I was going to get some quilting fabric for some quilting projects. However, you want to make sure you got to run the right way. Because the wire part is up against the ground. So you want to make sure that's correct too. So matter of fact, I don't want to confuse you. Let's go here. I don't want to confuse you. Let me go into my notes because some of you know is new to join this. So let me not do that. Let me not do it. So let's again, I'll take a little note. So let's go ahead and line our things together. And we're just going to put a small knot. A small knot right there. Just a note. And we're going to line up this pin. And we're going to do another small notch. Very, very small notch. So you're talking about very. This will not be seen in the seam allowance. So we know if you look, if you can see it now, this is already been notched. So this is basically the 4 corners on the surface. You do not have to do it. Well, yeah, because you're making. So let's go ahead and line them up. You may need it for your eye don't at the bottom, but for the sake of this video, I am going to go ahead and do the bottom. So just line it up. You put the pin there. Like I just said, if you want to use pins. But just make sure that the seam doesn't be even on both ends. So let's go ahead and let's get that out of the way. And while we at it, let's go ahead and do the brown. That's those seams up. But again, we have a story that's called AC Moore. I just use AC Moore because AC Moore used to sell jewelry thread, and they sold some of the best. People like to call it embroidery cotton, or quilting cotton. Technically, it's not no real such thing as quilting cotton. It's cotton. It's just 100% cotton. It is 100% cotton that most embroiderers use. So, street-wise, you can embroider cotton. You can embroider cotton. But also, it wasn't pure cotton. The interesting thing is, it really is 100%. I use it for apparel because once again, it is 100% cotton. And I'll never forget one day I went to Joann's More. I went to Joann's because I was looking for a specific pattern. Print. And the lady was like, "We don't carry it, but I do know Joann's does." Excuse me. And so I said, "Okay, when you go, remember we're going to mark up our notches on all 4 sides." I'm trying to make it easy for you. I want to make sure I'm making it easy for you. This is the easiest way is to figure it out and then the right side. That makes it easier for you all. Because you can see the form, so that's why I'm trying to make it easier for you, for beginners. But anyway, I went to go, they didn't have to check it without the people. And so they were cutting tables. Oh, you know how to do it. You know how to do it. What do you make? Just take time, filling those dead spaces. while they're having a conversation with you while cutting. And I said, oh, sewing up a dress. And she said, oh, well, this is not apparel fabric, it's cotton. And I said, it's 100% cotton. And so they can't use apparel. Like, who said that? And she was so upset because I basically was wrong. It could use apparel. Like, where do you get this that 100% cotton is apparel? So you want me to go and during me 10 times more for the same material for your apparel section that I can get out of this section to be a culture section. It's the same time. It's the same time. And she couldn't grasp it because all she thinks in her head is that it's close to cotton, but it's still the fiber is 100% cotton. I could go to where I want nothing but silk in cotton. Very few items that I made were natural colors. But majority of the clothes I made for wedding church was silk and cotton. Those are the ones that I got the most compliments on. The most compliments. People were shocked when I would tell them, you know, this is the culture's cotton. For one, they have to pay a print. They have prints than actual apparel cotton. But see, all of stuff is really just a marketing tool. It's a marketing tool to get people to spend more money. But it's all the same material. Don't never let nobody go to pizza stock. Unless it does not say it's 100% cotton. And that's all close to cotton is it's 100% cotton. And all most times when you're going cotton out of the apparel section, it's not 100% cotton. That's the kicker. So that's I actually have a video where I'm teaching how to crochet, and in that video, I'm also showing you the marketing for to sell baby yarn. In actuality, we're talking about baby yarn. There is no specific yarn that is specifically spun just for babies. It is still a yarn, whether it's small or hard, it is for yarn. Just point period. We got so used to being marketed to that we often don't realize that a lot of marketing stuff is just fake advertisement to get you into your pocket, like literally. So yes, you can use quilters cotton because it's cotton to make a product. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so when you join circles, remember again, you want to, or any question that's not straight, you want to make sure that your pieces stay lined up. Start off with your best stitch. And remember, don't want to do any stretching unless you're stretching it for side tip of your feet. And take your time on those. So I'm listening to my playlist. We do listen to some of the same music on Apple, but at the same time, there's music that I don't like or I don't like to listen to anymore. I don't like to take her off. She's draining me. I typically listen to old school hip hop. Mainly when anytime I really listen to it, I'm actually in the wasting. But on just a normal drive, typically no. But that's too much lyrics. So that's upbeat, but it definitely has too much inappropriate lyrics. So it's shifting. So I'm trying to get it to stay, keep on shifting. So here we go. Got you. Because whenever you have to stretch too. You have to be real careful because it definitely will stretch. Yeah. So, but yes, like I said, when I teach, I'm showing you in the video, and it's on my channel. I'm actually going to put in the playlist. Start putting stuff in the playlist to make things easier to find. But I am teaching you how, and I'm showing you, saying the difference between how the acrylic to adults is the same exact acrylic for children. Now, can you use it on children? Yeah, because it's the same. Now, they do have some acrylic that's soft. They have some acrylic that's soft for adults. So, do you always have to buy baby yarn? Absolutely not. Absolutely. And you also can offer baby yarn. I'm going to go ahead and share my food with my pieces. You can actually soften something too. All you have to do is, if you use fabric softener, you just have to do a rinse cycle, or you can let it soak. I typically I take the whole team of yarn before even crocheting, and I let it soak the but I do. It's repeating. What the heck? It's repeating. Let it sit overnight, oil, and let it sit overnight. And you actually can toss most yarns in the dryer. You want to do your wool and cashmere. Those you do not want to have cashmere or things dry. But you can mainly just take your dry. I have brought cashmere past, and what I did was I unwinded as I could to keep it from tangling, and then I air dried it, and then I would wind that like an air dry and then unwind some. So I do my way. Okay. All right, let me take a sip. All right, so we're going to do the brownie. Welcome in. Again, right sides together. Let's see what's going to be easier. This way should be easier. Again, we're going to make sure we are aligned. We do have our fresh looking seams. I like seams first, my outside, my side seams, and I'm pushing my seams to the side because I do pinking shears. If it's we'll talk about the video. We'll talk about the differences. I did tell them so that you can understand. I didn't even do it, y'all. But that's okay. I'm going to keep one. I'm not going to undo it. I didn't do notches on this one. See, that's why I said do it right. So what I do is I'll do one side and another try to get it equal to the middle. Yeah, see this brim is not. Should I just go with the green? Let's just go with the green. That thing is kind of stressing me. How about we do that? I will tell you. I was going to do another one. I'm not. What I'm going to do is I am going to please until I have it. And I'm going to have this completed for you next week. I don't know which day
for you
at least by next Saturday. I'm not. That's kind of stressing me a little bit. Let's go ahead and try to do. I've never used it. And I know I don't. So I'm just going to go ahead and let's see. Hopefully that. So you can guys, if you like. I brought it to necessarily. I was like, it's a good idea. I want to invest in the foot. You have to allow it to do. I only did about on this one, so I'm not going to do a half inch here. Why is this not shifting? It's supposed to be. I'm getting tired of hearing her. It was supposed to be shifting, and I just realized it. All right. So we do have to. So let's go ahead and get these notches done now. Get these notches done. I found a little unique way of making this hat. How to draw the pattern, it's kind of strange, but I'm gonna try it. The biggest problem, even the bag that I am making, the biggest problem is using the CAD website. Okay. So. Because I did do 2 each. I put out 2 colors each. I made sure I cut out 2 colors. I mean 2. Because I didn't know if the same color or the brand that was taking outside. I know what I was doing. So I did 2 each. So I'll just have another one. But I'm probably going to turn that hat to a small and not a medium, a women's medium. Initially, I was supposed to be medium. Well, I'm going to have to scale that hat down to a small. For youth. Because the youth hat or youth head style runs into the women. It actually runs into the size. So I'll just scale it down. That I do need to do. Okay. So now we just put all the notches
on all of the way. So let's go ahead
and just start flipping the subject. I actually was, I told you all, most people already know, I took sewing, me how to sew, sewing in junior high school, so I took it in the 7th and 8th grade. And I continued to sew from the rest of my life. I was going to go back to school. I was going to go to the Philadelphia Institute. I had went through the consultation, all that good stuff. And when I was there, I really wanted to go for pattern making and to learn how to take knitting skills. I didn't need to go for basic skills. So when I got there, I did my consultation, and so that I was have you, and then the question was, well, what do you want to get out of school? Well, I only want for having it. And she said, oh, we don't have our courses. Excuse me. And I was like, what? She's like, you got to go back to the basics. And I was like, man, I've been sewing, and I think at that time I was in like 4 years in. I've been sewing, and I know how to read patterns. I know how to do that. For 40 years, there's no way I'm going to go back to the basics. Do you know how I'm sitting in this class as y'all going over the basics? And I was like, are you going to tell me there's another opportunity? She told me they're going to be into pattern making until the 4th year. She said, you can accelerate into pattern making in the career. I said, man, I do it at a great time. I enjoy the time, but this is enough. I was like, there's just no way that I'm going to hear it back to basics. That's like telling somebody who has a PhD that they got to go back to basics. Like, I don't need a degree to sell. I just, and I haven't had the boutique about people buying opening clothes, not clothes because of finances, clothes because of the law, and everything else. And it was just too much, and I let something go. Anyway, so I was like, I can't do that. I was like, I agree. She said it. She agreed. She said, you know what, probably would be. Because if you've been doing that long, you definitely. She's like, I'm not going to be bored. I was like, yeah, I'm already here with a bunch of younger adults. I'm like, I'm going to be here with younger adults, children that's my age. I am definitely going to be bored. I was like, I don't think I can do it. So then, when I got when I got tired of driving back and forth from Delaware to Chicago, a lot of times by car because that's what I love to do. To see my husband in Chicago, I finally just I was like, I can't do this commute no more, and so I finally got out there, and then I said, you know what? I've always wanted to learn that anyway, so let me look into something there. However, I didn't do that right away. I didn't do that until several years later, and by the time I found and there's another taught leather work, and I was like, perfect. I signed up, and then my husband had to relocate. We had to relocate to Utah, so that kind of just took away. See, this is what I mean when I say a pattern should be you do not have to
Now, you have to alter apparel patterns to fit you. Yes, you do. I'm not saying that you don't. And I'm not saying that little alterations is not is a bad thing. However, these type of alterations, I feel like should not be so because this is a pattern and therefore it should just match up. Like this is not apparel. This is not something where we're talking these different body shapes because that's not the time that you really need to alter an apparel pattern. Because of your body shape. You're trying to get that specific pattern to match your body shape exactly. That's when you alter the pattern. But when you're talking about something that is supposed to be a one size fits all, there should not be a reason that I should have to alter it. And this is the part that I need to perfect because it's the thing that I can bring out, so it's the thing that I need to perfect. Because I don't want customers to have to go through that at all. We're going to try this again. Sounds like the sun is out and it's raining. I hear the wind, and I can feel the temperature drop just a slight bit. But those few snips did help a lot. I didn't snip this, I just stretched, but it's time to just go ahead and snip. Too much. Snip in here. Just throwing my notches off. There we go. I know it's a little hard to see, but I have a new setup that I'm trying to work on so that you can have better angles. I did move the camera over a little bit also because I didn't want the camera to be hitting the table. Did I forget to snip this out? Okay. See, that's stretching. There we go. Got it. Yeah, so I had to move it a tad bit because of the leaning. Should have done a little bit more. Normally I do a little bit more, but I didn't lately. At least a couple more are becoming perfect. I should have did more, only did 2. So it looks like it requires about 4. Okay. No. I wish I could connect to TikTok. I went to Facebook. I had Facebook connected initially. But then when I started doing videos, I just removed Facebook because I didn't know if Facebook might have been a part of the problem. Why it cut off on me a couple times. So I just want to remove it. You always want to turn off your access, even if it's a little bit extra noise, even if it's a little bit, because that little bit of trimming makes a difference. And I want you to check this right quick. And remember, you can see it. See that slit? We turn you this way. And you can see how your slit should be with your slit up. So look, my thread right here, and my slits right here. Excuse me, right here. So your snitch should never be below your 50. That means it's too much. Because you will see that in your, you will see it when you flip it over, if it's going down too far. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Now you have the top and the so let's go ahead and get the rim on. And like I said, I think the first thing it's easier to have like this. I think it's easier for you to hold your hat and match your edges. Whether you're using slits or pins. Make sure it's not split. Always make sure it's not. That knot is big. It's not looking smooth. You gotta be careful with that one. I believe I have to do a little bit of snipping here. Typically, you don't have to do that on the rim. Because you want your own to be professionally lined as well. Yeah, I'm going to do a few. Just a few notches. And this is just, you can see there's a little bit of gap here. You want to snip the part, not the part that is short. So you want to put small, tiny little slits, because that opens it up and allows it to stretch so that it is nice. I think maybe like a couple more right here. And we fancy those little tiny dots. So now when I go pin, there won't be no gap. Everything will line perfectly. And you may have to make a little bit more to make sure that everything is shift. All right. I'm going to move one more right there. There we go. So now it lines up. It lines up perfectly. I'm going to add one more clip. Or where it is, you feel a little bit more comfortable. The vertical part for you, just so over. You can actually feel this. You can put the pins through your face. This type of you can actually feel it. The where it's not something that you need to work with. That makes you more comfortable. Because you may not be able to keep the pins to sit right so that it doesn't shift on you, doesn't make the gas. So you
free to pin it instead of templates. You just have to keep in mind what type of material that you're using. If your material allows you to use pins, so if you're using denim, but if you're using vinyl or leather, you cannot do that. You will holding. I mean, you can. I say you can because you can. However, keep in mind you're going to have pinholes in your garment where you're making things. Keep in mind, you see this way. There's different size pins. Just like different size needles, different size pins. Rubber stamp pins, they're different. So, rather than putting pins and you're putting those pins in, keep in mind that your holes want to be a little bit bigger. When it comes to shopping, not so much, you're not going to see it. It's going to be able to start snipping. Now I didn't snip the brim. I actually did. So we're going to go just for video sake. Now, honestly, this would work. My pen is a little thicker, getting through the interface. But those are, I'm not going to dig them up. Oh, now I got to skip this. All right. Welcome. Let's go ahead and get this in now. First. Because you don't have to the whole section. You can just start pinning or flipping and then you can the first section. And I'm just taking the tips. I'm just taking the very tip of my tips and putting them. Not quite sure you already know what it's just snipping something really small, cutting something really small, just putting a little incision in it or small. And I do really believe that, because I would say 60% of the book is finished to be able to be launched in August. I actually have to speak to you sign up. But I am going to let you know ready to get your materials. Plus, there's a packet that I want to send you as well. All right. So here we go. This stitched up. I'm actually going to take this out. Let me just make it how to do this. I'm going to leave my clips in. That lets me know. Oh, shoot, y'all. I didn't see this. I thought we did all of it. So I have a packet that I'm going to send out because I'm going to also send out a I'm a mail out not mail out, an email either pattern that we're going to work on as well. It'll be in a form, so you all have to print it. If you don't have no way of printing it, I will mail it at cost to you. However, you can print it off yourself. It will have an option of having it mailed versus printing. But if you have a printer and print it, that would be the easiest way. And then you'll be able to start purchasing your PDF patterns. This will not be for handbags. It would be for, it's going to be for apparels. Apparel, I'll put S on the end of that. It's going to be apparel, and it will be a skills that are learned and applied to making. I am one of the making portion of it as a course, but it's going to be a more of a advanced course that'll be later. So just for video's sake, I got a little bit longer. This is one because it is to put it in. So just for video's sake, we're going to go ahead and do that and get it up. This is the right. But you can do submitted clicks on the end. Like I said, that lets me know where my point. Now, the stick where those clips are, I would backstitch those like I did on the original first set of buckets I made. I backstitched on all those corners of the hats. But these are not going to do so. I don't know if you really noticed, I did not do that. I'm actually not going to start the seam. I am going to start after the seam in this case. All right. Now, you can sew over some pins, these are not the ones, or you can hand crank. You can hand crank. Meaning using your wheel to sew over the pins. However, keep in mind that you can, hold on y'all, keep in mind that you can break your needles. 1 second, sorry, y'all. When I was your guy and you were my girl, there was nobody else in my world. Let's get the mood right. Turn on the water. Put on that package my niece sent in here on Monday. Was meant to be shipping. I specifically that you have to send me the tracking number. She forgot. She went on vacation and she lost the tracking number. It is Saturday, and I still don't have the packet that was supposed to be delivered 2 days shipping by this past Monday. And without tracking number, you know, it's almost impossible to track it. Now, typically, what I do is when I was getting them to send me stuff, since this is for my business, I would typically create the label myself. I would typically go on to my business account, pay for it, and email them the link so they can print it off. But she did not have a way of printing it. So we had to go back into the post office and still got to send me the check. And now all of that is missing somewhere in the middle, just somewhere close. And it's kind of interesting to me that even if it didn't come Monday, why would this be completely just missing? There's no dates in the post office. I went on to check it. So I'm just not understanding why this packet is lost. I think that there is something wrong with the address that she inputted. I'm all today. That's because I'm really tired. So I'm lifting them up because I want to keep my seam pressed the opposite direction. It was trying to come towards me. So yeah, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I mean, it's not an expensive packet, but it's still hard-earned money. All right. All right. So then let me show you again. You will see like that will fade away. This is what I'm saying. I don't think you can actually see that pin. But it will fade away with this cotton. That's the benefit. It really will disappear. All right. So let's go ahead and get the seams trimmed too. So she was just come in. I don't know why she would need to go in. Because they can do no more for her inside than they can over the phone. So I'm a little confused. But I'm just glad that it's Saturday. Package not here. Package is not here, and I paid 2 days shipping. Because I didn't want the posters, and she sent it 2 days shipping, which is why I was supposed to be here by Monday. It was shipped on it was shipped on, I think, Thursday, which would have been Friday and Saturday. But you know, the shipping to them 2 days is Monday. Although they do on Sundays, never think that a postmaster does it on Sundays. Some places get delivery on Sunday from the post office. But they still work inside. Post office is actually 7 days a week. What is not 365 days is inside. They do have that for holiday, major holidays. However, they work 7 days a week. On the inside, you just can't go in 7 days a week. But they're working. Okay. All right. So, and I don't know that I perform at 1.2. I did a stint, small stint. I really respect postmasters, which are milkmen. Postmasters, but I really respect them because I know how it is. All right, so we have our lighting. We now have our lighting. All right. Okay. Now, what you want to do is you want to take your, you can do this, you can take this and turn it inside out. And you want to put right sides together. Right? So that when you stitch it and you flip it inside out, then your lining is going to be showing. So make sure that you line up your hat right side together. The easiest way is to put your hat in front of you. So you put it in right side together. I don't know. So you want to line up the things, make sure they're completely lined up. And oh my God. Let's just do this. I can see it kind of covered up when we're doing the patchwork. I forgot to cover it up. The not only lining, the not on the exterior from the patchworks. That's fine. This is actually going to be easy. So I'm not worried about that. And this is my center. Ouch. And
And
this
this will be available
by
by
Monday,
Monday.
because I went back to pictures. I have to steam and take pictures. So it'll be available on Monday. All right. And again, now, what we want to do is, so that
you don't forget,
you
you
want
want
to
to
leave
leave
yourself
yourself about
2
to 4 inches of an opening.
Now,
What I like to do, this is a true
erase.
erase tool.
All right. What
What I
I like
like to do
is
is you never want to do this on the seams because you want to make sure your seams stay lined up.
This
This
is
is my front. I know it's not because I can see the actual tag. So on the back of my hat, I want to leave myself open. And if you need to mark it so that you don't forget where to start and stop, just do that. Nothing wrong with it.
Because
when you press this, even though they're not going to see it, it's going to be ready.
Because
it is a key thing. Like I said, you want to leave yourself open so you can burn the hat. The term is called bunking or turning right side out. All right, and I'll show you how to do that as well as and then how to put it in. So what I do is I learned it instead of just calling it a line. I learned it to start this way.
Just a couple of stitches. Actually, I'm just going to do one, actually. And then I'm going to and you're going to back because you don't want those things to come through. Now, if you're someone who has a serger, you can use a serger. If you have any type of overlock stitch, you can use that. But you won't be able to overlock once you burn it. Remember, whatever you do, just turn and do not stretch. Now, the only thing is with my I went to look at the little content creator video while I'm so what else? The problem is I was able to turn my music off on the iPad. I was trying to interesting by hubby, he got a new iPad and he is not allowing him to download the YouTube app, but I'm just going to watch it from his account. And see, I went across the line. I went right into the so I'm just going to pick that up. That's what you don't want to do. Don't want to. I did. It's okay. I can fix that. Talking to you, I still think I have. But anyway, it would let you walk into YouTube. And so I'm just going to figure this out. Didn't leave no, which is okay. I'm glad I did it. I like music because even in experience, will make mistakes. Anyway, I was going to watch it. I wouldn't have to turn it off. So when I think that there are certain probably going to music off, so I can make sure I put it back together. I'm quite sure I probably can put it together without it, but I'm going to watch it anyway. All right, so. Let me do a couple of stitches. And the reason why you want to back stitches is because you don't want to, when you burp it inside out, you don't want to rip up those seams. And how many times you go over it doesn't really matter, but you definitely want to go over it back. just to seal that part in. All right, so we're going to go inside out. I should have done a little bit more. Or you can put your hand on the pull through. But it is going to take across unless you leave extremely opening. All right, so now you can inside out. This is why you want to together when you're sewing. Make sure everything's out. And now you push the inside in. Now, we can do a couple of things here. You definitely want to keep your press. My back is starting to hurt too. Because I've been doing a lot of stuff. All right, so you want to make sure those things are inside and any loose threads that came across them. Make sure they're inside. Now, I didn't put time yet because even though that's cheaper option, you can find your it does get extremely hot, and or at least but you want to press to press because how hot it is. I'm gonna show you what to do with that. It's just you're rolling it, pressing it, because you want to get all of those things out. You want to make sure everything rolls out. Okay. This is the best way to make all your seams turn inside out. Turn that on before. Plug this up. Okay. All right, sorry. I'll still have my lady here try to try this well. All right, give me a second. That is kind of right. Like I said, that's my favorite. Reason. And then huge fan of I not so much. I like hot air on it. If it's 100 degrees outside, all right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move it to the side, and I'm just going to put some seams. Like I said, you want to make sure you roll all your seams out. And we'll get to this part a little bit. You just want to tuck this in. You want to make sure you tuck. This is why you want to do all your seams so you can make sure it stays even. And you're just going to tuck this. Typically, press this part to, you'll know exactly where you need to tuck it, but we're going to go ahead and tuck this in, and we're going to iron. We're going to top stitch this, but we're going to iron this also. So now we know from here to here, definitely has to be closed. However, we're going to go all the way around because we want to keep it uniform. All right. But I'm going to iron all the way around just to get it flat evenly. All right. And what I'm going to tell you to do, so that you not, so what you can do is for beginners, you can take a pin, so where your starting top was. You can take a pin for beginner. So this tells you if you don't want to go all the way around, this tells you when you start and stop.
right here, for someone like me, I love my people to make you comfortable. I can put a button, I can mark both the beginning and the end right here on the fabric, right on the fabric, with a number and a week. So I'm going to do this pressing this all around. Make sure you feel the press, or you sorry, finger roll to get it flat. You want to make sure it's flat. You want to make sure the line stays under. You don't want the line to be straight. You want to make sure the line stays under. Your seams are going to be a tad bit, which is why I tell you always keep them down. I'm so used to women too, because you have steam when you're pressing face.
Oh, you can see me a little bit. Okay. Ooh, that's why my shuffle. All right. So take a look out. Let's hold that once again. All right. As I showed you, great pencil. So get yourself up. And so because my name is on the front, I am going to back. And I'm going to go ahead and seal this up with a top. And you're only going to go on the 1/4 inch top stitch. Right along. Now there's a couple things you can go on the hat as well. I don't typically make mine like that. What do you do today? Where you use multiple lines. Some hats have multiple lines, some not. I didn't do it in my other style of knitting. They had a lot of layers, so I was chose not to do them on those. But you know what? In this one. And if you feel that the line is trying to come to the front, just finger roll it back. Because it will, as you're going around the circle. And do not stretch your hat while you're going around the circle. You may be tempted to do so, but do not stretch. You want to turn it, you want to stretch it. So I'm getting that technique, and this is where I'm going to back stitch. Here. And let's go ahead and put a few more rows. I think I made it 4. I'm going to use my do one here. I'm going to try to yes. That's one. Okay. And I'll just figure it out. 1, 2, 4. Do 4 rows. I'm going to use my foot as a guide for the next time. Just to keep it. And we're already in hour 19 minutes in, so. And I don't know my battery. I'll have to check it. It's not showing. There's no of the same artist should be playing back to back. But I my girl, which is why I listen to faster music.
online.
And you do not have to stitch this. You're just going to do a couple stitches. Just make sure you're covering up those stitches. All right, the next row. Yeah, it's interesting because I know you're Philly is Wilmington, Delaware. It's a with Boys to Men back in the day. My cousin, excuse me, my cousin, I'm so sorry, not my friend. My best friend, the godmother, she was taking one of the cousins of one of the members. And they took us off. So we would go to Philly mainly Saturdays to go watch competitions, but they would do tournaments and stuff like that. So for you all to know, some of the recent members are ballers. They used to bowl. And we used to go hang out with them. I'm not going to drop any names, but yeah, we used to go hang out with them. And yeah, so they were the main celebrities from their hangout with. Now, I don't know what the basketball is. His daughter is older, and our sisters are god sisters. And I remember one time Shantae had her, I'm not going to mention the baby's name. I don't want to. They didn't know what her, but you know, when they got married and they ended up having her later. But so I know he also wrote a lot of songs for our choir. And he even had his sister even sang soprano, and his brother played instruments. Ty Trivet is, when it comes to music, he is lyrically, he is a lyricist for sure. He not only wrote the words, he would write the music for our songs, and to this day, they are some of the biggest hits to this day. We ended up getting another MD because then by then he wasn't signed to Sony yet, but he was moving, gaining a lot of traction with his choir, and we ended up getting another MD. And another MD, he actually wrote songs as well and music for the songs. So we've had some good music, but yeah. He used to play, I don't want to say us like that, but he used to write, he used to play the organ and the keyboard, of course, for the songs he wrote. But yes, so I know him as well, but I know celebrities, I'm not going to name drop, but I was just thinking, just talking about the in particular, even though his mother is familiar with the gospel program DAS, his mother's Niecy Trivet, and Miss Niecy Trivet lived in Philly, and his father lived in Jersey. I didn't want to tell you what part of Jersey. So we used to sing at his father's church a lot too. And Miss Niecy used to run the gospel hour. If you're familiar with the East Coast WDAS, it's the Sunday Night Gospel, Sunday Gospel, she used to run that. used to be this job for a long time. I mean, heck, she's still doing that. I'm not sure if she's retired. Yes. But yes, I'm familiar with them. My girls are in this season. Their God sisters, they have other God sisters from the same Godfather. If they're not have more relationship with, unfortunately, anymore, but it is still, I mean, they still support each other. The men still support each other, and my girls still support their older. But they don't really get to see them like that anymore. I'm trying to say, if I can't sit it, I gotta. It keeps curling. However, if I can't sit it, I haven't heard that I take this. This is a thread stacker. It actually is extremely hot. I never want to from take the top off the way and use it for tip up against the thread. I don't like this thread. It's really light. It gets hot. So put it up against the thread, and it would definitely stick. Yeah, definitely. There we go. You don't want to touch the fabric. I don't know if you get that thing. Don't want to touch the fabric. You just want to touch the thread just lightly. Lightly. Always. Don't want to put it on the table. You don't want to just period. You want to know that whatever you do, you put that top on right away. You always press that button in the high room. But never, ever, ever touch that plumb in any type of way, shape, or form. Okay, and I'm going to put another row. I'm going to keep going until I get to the top. You can put as many rows as you want to spread it out. Another row. Yeah, you want to go as far as you can. If you like the video, please don't forget to like, comment, share it. Turn your notifications on to be notified when I have my next live. If there's anything you want to see, anything you want me to show you, just drop it in the comment section so I'll see it. I will reply to all comments and I will go ahead and get that video out for you. And also going over that I'll trim that up. What want to do? Get that. Yeah. And what I also do, I make sure I don't know if you can see, I'm spreading the fabric open to make sure that this fabric does not get caught in the fabric underneath. So you see me kind of spread the fabric apart. Okay. All right. And you want to make sure it's caught off the stitching. Here we go. So what I did was see I'm still going to get started on make sure it's the same holes. And I'll worry about the rest of it up.
offline.
All right.
This is the inside. You have all the stitches on the inside,
All right.
right?
So,
So this is that is below.
wait,
Wait,
is that
let me
two
for a
squares that?
second.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
that's what I
right.
reminded.
And
And
you're
you're
actually
actually
completed.
completed.
We're
We're
now,
now completed.
it's
It's
that,
that simple.
like
Like
I
I
said,
said, I was doing it all
online,
fine.
I've been done in a half an hour.
Plus,
Plus,
you
you
might
might
feel like
see,
it's
but
but
this is a
a
bucket
bucket
hat.
hat.
This
This
is
is
how
how
you
you
can
can
put
put
a
a
bucket
bucket
hat.
hat. Again, I have everything
Ready
ready
for
for
you
you
at
at
any
any
time
time
next
next
Saturday.
Saturday.
This
This
is
is
it.
it. This is it.
all.
This is the semester.
Let me see where
We're
I'm
hot,
at.
it's kind of hot, and it's 43.
So
So
guess
guess
what?
what?
We're
We're
gonna
gonna go ahead and start on the back. How about that? This is it. This is the inside.
this
This
is
is
the
the inside of the hat,
and
and this is the outside.
all
All
right.
right.
Let's
Let's
go.
go ahead and start.
So
So,
what
what
I
I
did
did
was
is
that
that
I
I
did
did
there are two types of three
three
or
or
four
four types of bucket hats.
but
But
because
because buckets are round and have a square bottom, I didn't really like that. So I
found
found a company
that
that
was
was
only
only
like
like a thousand cents,
but
but
I
I
didn't like
didn't know
what
what
kind
kind
of
of
it.
bucket.
But
But I also
I
I
wanted
wanted to put some purses on here. I did buy into the video four, so most bags have either two to four purses.
I
I
chose
chose to be five. I wanted to put one in the middle because I didn't want the bag to sit
in
in the middle.
So
So I put two. And what I did was because I don't have definitely a heavy cord light, I wanted to put some duct tape. I think you can put some duct tape as well and put some duct tape on it. And give it a circle. Matter of fact, I got a sleeve in. I did not put them all the way in. I just put the sleeve on. With my sleeves on, because I do have to sleeve them completely on. And so,
okay. Because
you can use it for more like being, but you want to make sure that you keep it tight.
And I did not do that because
I wanted to make sure about it.
Okay.
That's all. And so also one thing I have learned is that also some people use Jacobville, some people use duct tape. This one I would use other way
because reach it. Yeah, I'm gonna use a nickel one.
You can put the bucket on the person, or you can put some Decaville if you have Decaville. But I noticed that people don't have Decaville, they use duct tape. Because what but I don't have my but I think you use the duct tape because we don't have Decaville. So I'm just going to go ahead and do some duct tape as well. Also, what I do is because I don't have Decaville, I end up using some of the I don't really know what it's called, but it makes it thicker. It's almost like the it's almost like stuff that people use. I mean, it's stuff that people use to put in the bag, and the bags that they use when they're doing like crochet bags, I use that. What I do is I do 2 layers of Helon SF 101. I do 2 layers of that. And then because the silver bucket bag, so it's not going to be quite as sturdy or, as big as, bucket bag. So I did 2 layers of that, and then I still did the string on here as well. Just to do a little bit more sturdiness. But when I get to the back, I am definitely going to be some decorative. So I'm going to get it done over here.
All right. So this bag did not come with no restrictions. Now, I will say she did warn and say it did not come with no restrictions, only a video. And so I was a little disappointed. So I'm going to try to. Now, originally, I was going to cut the middle to have the the hat, but I changed my mind. Why are you back to this? It's not showing again. Why are you? Hold on. Hey, I'm a y'all. Hey. Wait, is it not going on the phone for the face? Is that the issue? It's what it looks like. God, it looks like this just became yeah, it looks like it became up and down. All right. So what I decided to do with that, I decided to make sure I'm moving. I didn't want to go with a cloak line. I was like, I want to go on. I think a denim line would be nice for this bag. To make it a little more thicker or sturdier. So that's what I decided. So I actually did watch a portion of her video and was not that clear, but I believe I kind of figured out some of it. So this is the experience. And we have experience. I immediately was going to make more alterations to the bag, but decided no, I'm going to. Let's go for it. I'm going to give you another evidence. Let's pause, Leo. And I'm going to put it on silent. I'm going to turn the volume down on it because I don't want copyright for sure. But what I am thinking that I did that oh, wait a minute. And I don't know what that was. Give me a second. And it sounded like it fell into my trash bag. Lord have mercy. What was that? What was that? What was that? Legible material. Oh gosh, I don't know what that was. I need to move it. I don't know what that was. I don't know. But anyway, so let's these two pieces go together. However, just I'm confused because one is longer than the other, and so I am just confused. Oh, this way. Okay, now it makes sense. So I'm just going to fix this now. Like I said, I think we have to figure it out anyway, and because I'm really good at doing that anyway. So just going to put a few clips in here. I'm going to clip that. Just go ahead and clip this on right side and get it over the way. I need to purchase more clips. I actually have one that's still in my storage. My palm. Yeah, I don't know why. I'm going to put it back in. No, it's in. So it's registering like using it. Usually I don't. But I also print these clips here. These were used to have to do these up in the middle. So I use those for the middle as well. As you can see, I have them clipped up. But when it comes to sewing, it's easier to sew with the Wonder Clips. All right, so I want to get those two together. And let me go ahead. I don't want to get on the camera because that's not respecting. Okay, let me see. I want to make sure I'm putting these pieces together because she did not have the instructions. So, yeah, I hear it as if it's connected. I don't know why
it's connected. What is it connected to? Because if it's in a case, it should not be connected. But no wonder. I literally can hear. I can hear it. And if you can see them in the case. But I literally can hear them. That's crazy.
I hope you can be able to hear me this whole time because I didn't know it was connected. And it should not. It should not be connected at all. All right, I'm going to put this back to a piece. All right. Yeah, that's kind of weird. That's kind of weird to me that this whole time it's been like that. And I hope I haven't been live the whole time and you're not going to be able to hear me. So there is a post to this. Find that piece. It's not it. I'm assuming that this is it. That's weird. Because with this one, I don't know if this is correct, y'all. But this thing is the only thing that makes sense. It is literally the only thing that makes sense to me. That's weird. Bluetooth has been operating this whole time. And I told her, mother, but today, like everything's going on. There's no way that my Bluetooth should have been connected and it's been the case for the last almost 2 hours. It's literally the case. I haven't taken it out. So I don't know why it would have been. That's what I'm going to say when it's dying. Okay. I have those. Shoot. I have those. Give me one moment. Now, the thing that concerns me is I have a hole punch. However, I'm just gonna put it in my ear. I don't know what's going on. I have a hole punch. However, the hole punch is not punching through fabric, or I should say denim. It is not tough enough to punch through denim. I brought a hole punch specifically for that very reason. And it's so interesting is because I have my, so I do have, I took out
some D rings. So I do have my 2 D rings that I did take out. I took out some square rings as well. I didn't know if I wanted to use those or not, so I do have those out, and I do have my 2 swivels. These are 1 inch each. But this is the whole punch that I did buy, and I was not aware. I know it's usually for leather making kits, but I don't know at this point how I'm gonna get the holes in there, because even my rivet press or my grind press does not want to punch the holes. So because that didn't want to punch the holes, I ended up purchasing this, and this is not even punching through my denim. So maybe just a denim thing. I have no idea. So we'll see. So I didn't try any other fabrics, only tried my denim. I do know it punches through my vinyl and it punches through leather. It's the denim is the problem. So I have my rivets. I just didn't take them out of the case because I don't want to lose them. So I did buy this pack. I think I did show you this in a haul. I did buy just a case of rivets. I got these off Amazon. These are, unfortunately, I wish they were labeled, but I think mine's only go up to a size 8. I don't know if that's an 8 or a 10. The pattern calls for a 10, but I'm going to use just the larger size that I have. And it says 12 10 millimeter rivets on fail. I do know that failed. So let me grab that. I didn't grab that. Well, I got the outlet all the way down on the floor. I'm glad I'm not that much out of shape. For these rivets, I don't know if I'm going to stick with. Oh, I did buy some. So these are the ones I told you that they sent the wrong color. This is gunmetal. I am using antique brass. I don't have any other antique brass hardware. I did purchase some gunmetal ones, so. And I may just use these. I haven't decided. I may use the gunmetal. This is a 1/2 inch, which is correct. I don't know if I'm going to use the gunmetal or if I'm going to use gunmetal or if I'm going to use the antique brass. I have not decided yet. I will when we get to that part, which will not probably be on film. On live by the time we get to that. Now, I did not cut my zippers. I do have my zippers here. You need an 8-inch, 3-inch zipper. I did not cut it yet. I did not decide which I want to use. I did buy not my jig. Is that what's got my jig? Okay, no. Here it is. So I bought a zipper jig. I did show that as well in one of my Amazon hauls. Here it is. This is zipper jig. I am still trying to work this thing myself. It's a little, to me it's error, user error, not the jig itself. Sometimes I can get it and sometimes I cannot. All right, let's hurry up because I wanna hurry up. So let me see how much battery I have because it is getting hot. Not as hot as it was, but it is getting hot. I'm at 36%. So let's see how much we can do at 36%. All right. So it says we're going to start with the D-ring tags. All right. So I'll put you over here, put you down. And let me put you, I don't have to put it back in there. All right. Let's start with the D-ring tag. So, and I have all the other pieces here too. My strap. I do like that this one does have a eye positioning guide, so you can make sure you put your rivets in the proper place. So I do like that. They did give that guide as well. So let's go ahead and do the D-rings. Okay. So don't fly away. So what she did was, look at this. She did, and I did keep the iron.
I kept the iron on this time because I know for a fact I'm going to need it. One thing I think about getting a second cup because I can never finish the second cup. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold this in half and we're going to press it. Are you able to see me? Because I do have my iPad up here. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and press that. Just get that pressed. We're going to fold this one in half and get it pressed too. All right. Now, we're going to unfold this. And we're going to unfold it and we're going to press it to the middle and press this to the middle. And the D-ring holes, the D-rings, you do not have to interface these. If you feel more comfortable, I don't think that there's no reason why you can't, but you really don't need to. Now, normally, I would have used some double-sided tape instead, because that would also help with the frame. I am hoping that this denim does not fray too much. So I think the next time I make this, I will make this with vinyl and do certain parts in vinyl, which is like the D-rings for sure. All right. Good afternoon. All right, so what we're going to do is we're now going to just simply stitch down both sides. Oh, we came loose. I'm not sure why, because you allowed me to finish sewing, so I didn't do anything else. So let's go ahead and get this snipped up. And y'all know I'm still old school. I'm still doing it with my eyes. So we're going to go ahead and just do a 1/16 of an inch stitch straight down. Because y'all know I sew bare without my shoes on. No need of back stitching. And you're going to sew down both sides. This, I don't need instructions for this, but you know. I'm just doing step by step the way she's doing it. She's doing it. This is the part that I already know, but for video's sake. I am now seeing an echo, hearing an echo, but okay. All right, so let's go ahead and clip these threads. So I'm going to try to hurry up and do as much as I can. What I don't finish on this live, I'll finish in the video after my phone cools down. All right. And now we're going to put the D-rings on. We're going to just go ahead and put the D-rings on. And you want to, hold on, I got the thread I got to trim. It caught up in itself. Okay. Now, what we want to do is we're going to put 2 stitches in this. We're going to stitch along. Here's my stylus. We're going to stitch along here. We're going to stitch along here, and we're going to stitch up here close to the D-ring, as close as you can get it to lock it in. And you don't have to back stitch on the bottom, but you want to back stitch up there close to the D-ring. But when you're up here, you definitely want to back stitch. And you don't have to go all the way to the top. You can go where your foot lines right up against it if you feel more comfortable that way. It is, that part is up to you. It's just a matter of how tight you want that D-ring to be. So I'm going to go forward, and then I'm going to stitch back.
And I'm going to do this a few times because I want to make that strap, because you're going to be pulling on your straps. So your bag straps. So I want to make sure it's as tight as possible. So I'm just going to do it a few times. And you want to make sure your center seam is on the inside. Whatever you do, make sure that center seam, when you're putting your D-ring on, make sure your center seam is on the inside. Reason why you don't have to worry about back stitching with this part, because this part is going into the seam. And some of this is even going to be cut off. And you'll see that when we get there. That I do know. And that's only because I have done seams before. I'm going to try to do a backpack in a week or two, because I need a backpack. I'm about to take a trip, and I don't have a bag because I had to throw away my backpack. I've had it for years now. It has gone through so much wear and tear. I only carry it on the plane, but prior to me ever carrying it on a plane, I was carrying it around in Utah when I originally bought it for, and then it became my travel backpack. But that backpack used to go to Michael's and travel being stuffed full of crafts and stuff. I used to buy stuff to, make crafts. Okay, so I'm just snipping that. All right, so we can go ahead and set these aside after we trim that up. Now we're going to work on the slip pocket. This is the part that actually kind of still intimidates me to this day. Working on pockets. Like I said, I can put pockets on clothes, but these pockets on these bags still intimidate me a little bit. So I want to make sure I am using the right one. I think it's the small, bigger one, but let's see. Let's go back. Hold on, that wasn't clear. Excuse me. I don't think it's a small one, actually. Okay, so it's this one. I got it. All right, so it's 2 of these, right? Did I do 2? Did I not do 2? I didn't do 2. Hold on, is there 2 of these? I didn't cut 2 of these, y'all. So I'm going to alter this, improvise. Because I definitely didn't cut 2 of those. And I'm not about to sit here and cut another one. So let me double check that it's not mixed up with another one. But I'm almost certain I did not. So yeah. So let's do it the way we know it. Hold on. What piece goes with that? What? And this is what I shared with her. Your video, I watched it a couple times. This is my 3rd time watching this video. And she doesn't even know this is my 3rd, but I told her I watched this video twice, and there are certain parts that does not make any sense to me because of the pieces that you have. So let's read that. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. So because I know this is the zipper pocket. I went according to, and see, one thing you won't have to worry about with my pattern, I'm going to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So you'll be absolutely clear. Unfortunately,
these people that are creating these patterns, they're not doing that. They're making it very difficult because they're not telling you what piece goes with what, and you're always supposed to have them labeled. Yeah, oops, oh shoot, interior slip pocket. It definitely said cut 2, and I still missed one. However, I'm not so much concerned about that because honestly, I can skip that part altogether. What I can't skip, one moment. This is the part that's confusing. Because even what she's telling you in the video, her pieces is not labeled based off of what she's saying. Because that looks like the same exact, it looks like it's the slip pocket that she was working on. But I think this is it. Let's go here. Let's go here anyway. Let me put my jig over there. Because this is the part that makes sense to me. So I can say that this is the part that makes sense. So let's stick with this. And you know what's interesting in this video? It doesn't even say what seam allowance she's using. And that's another thing. You should always be telling your people what seam allowance to use. So I am going to stick with a 1/2 inch across the board. Because this seems to me it should have been simple. A simple vacuum. So, do y'all have any plans for this weekend? Thinking about getting my trying to fly my either my grand. Well, I don't want my 2-year-old granddaughter following, flying solo. Although they do have a program, but I don't trust our government enough to do that anymore to allow children to fly solo. I forgot what it's called, where children fly solo. They attach them to a flight attendant. But I don't. Why am I using these scissors? I don't even trust their flight attendants these days. So I was thinking about going into the States and getting my baby, giving my daughter about a week break. I think that would be enough. Even with her being 2 years old, being with her grandmother, that's still a lot. Especially when she was with me when I was home for the 3.5 months, but she still basically knows Gammy from FaceTime. So I want to be mindful of that. All right. So I think I'm going to fold this open and top stitch it. Although technically there is. Yeah, so I'm going to fold mine over and top stitch. I'm going to do what I know to do because I'm not going to be on here much longer. So I think I'm just going to retrim this.
So pink and shears do work on denim. However, it's a little bit thicker and harder. So yeah, I think I want her. So that's my baby. So she called me today because my oldest was watching her, and she was trying to explain to her that Gammy is her mom's mom. She's still trying to grasp that. She's still trying to comprehend what that means. But I think she finally got it today because she actually said it. And I was so shocked that she said it. She said, Gammy is my daughter's name, Mom. And so my daughter said yes. And she said, well, Gammy's my mom too. And she said, Gammy's, and then she said my daughter's name. Because she would say my daughter's name and then she would say mama. She says mama, not mommy. And so she's like, yeah, so now you can stop calling your mom by your name. But I was like, no, I said, I think in this case she needs to because she's trying to put the two together. And so then she would say, my daughter goes by Anna. I'll say that. And so she was like, so, and Gammy is Anna's mommy or mama. I mean, Gammy's mama. Anna's mama too. And she said yes. And so it was so cute. So my daughter called me so I can hear her trying to grasp learning who I am. And it's because she sees photos and stuff of us together. Now, my daughter does have a stepmom, and they are currently living there. But it's interesting; there are no photos of her and my daughter's stepmom together, and so she just knows her by Gigi. And so I was like, that's going to really confuse her because she's going to want to know why she's living with Gigi, but I am the the biological grandmother. So it's so interesting because she has, a dynamic situation that she has to learn, like as I did, because I had a stepmother. So I had to learn it. And then, when we got older, my brother and sister was calling their grandmother, Nanny, and she was introduced to me by her name. Miss, by her name. And I was so confused as to why they was calling her name and I had to call her Miss. Until I, got a little bit older, and she was like, you can call me grandma. Call me Nanny. And so she didn't like it. I'm gonna move this out the way. She didn't like it because I was confused because they married when I was 2. I hope this is not gonna jam up. So she's been around me since they came to the States. They're from England. And so since her parents came to the States, I've, been around them. So I know it could be a little confusing when relationships and marriages, end and then children are born and they gotta learn the different roles that everybody plays in our lives. It could be a lot with them. But this is beautiful top stitch. So I'm just what I did was I decided just to top stitch along the bottom seam, not the top seam. So I thought it was so cute though because she finally grasped that I am her mother's mom. And so she knows, Gammy, she knows Pop Pop. She even knows our voices without even seeing us, but she's known for a very long time. Also, I am the one that actually cut her umbilical cord because her dad was on the road and he missed it. So I was the next in line to cut her umbilical cord, so I did. And so, but it was so cute that she really grasped that today. I was so excited. I'm a proud grandmother. All right. Welcome. Hi, how are you? Oh, you just coming in? I'm sorry, my comments just refreshed. I won't be on much longer. My phone's doing the same crazy thing. It's getting hot. And it's dropping the battery really, really fast. So I'm working on the bucket bag. We finished the bucket hat. Would you like to see the bucket hat? But right now,
I'm working on the bag, which I'm probably not going to finish. I'm well. Um, so I probably won't finish the bucket bag. All right. All right. So now I'm going to. Okay. So when I finish it, and I showed you, you'll see it once it upload. You'll see the finished bucket hat. But so here's the finished bucket hat. Here's the final hat, the patchwork bucket hat, and here's the inside lining. And I also did the, I don't know if you can see me block some of that light. You can see the stitch. I did the stitching on the brim this time. So it's finished, and that's my label. So yeah, we finally finished it. I wasn't able to go live yesterday because we do have some. Thank you. I did the bandana. I did the bandana material. Was you in here for that live? Was you in here for the bandana live? The bandana, doing the bandana. So where did I pull my scissors to? Let's just use my pinky scissors. I'm gonna cut some of this interface off because I do have way too much interface hanging over. So yeah, I'll finish that. Oh, well, welcome. I'm glad you're here. My name is Kim. This channel used to be Copper Hue Collections. I used to have a bath and body bath and body line, but I moved to the Caribbean and I was not able to continue to run that business because of regulations. I wasn't able to get a lot of the materials out here, and we don't have to carry them out here. So I rebranded to Camellia Halt, and I rebranded to a handbag and accessory business. So I've been sewing for 50 plus years. And this is what I'm doing, working on this. I've been having some issues with a brand new phone overheating, so I won't be on that much longer. For some reason, I'm going through StreamYard. It's dying on me really quickly. But yeah, that's my my background. I'm so glad you're here. I'm just cutting off some of the ends of the interface because of the way I put it on. I had a little overhead. Yes, I had to pivot. I had to do something. Well, I'll tell you this. One thing I did was, even before I found out I would not be able to run my business out here, I had already shipped my sewing machine and embroidery machine out here. So no matter where I go, that is going. Sewing machine is going to go. Maybe not the embroidery machine, but the sewing machine is going. But I shipped the sewing machine and the embroidery machine out here even before we got here. So that's a given. So I knew that, because it's something I always do anyway. I knew I was going to have that to fall back on. I always have my sewing to fall back on. So I just want to trim this up a little bit. And so that's what I did. That was the best way for me to pivot. Oh, you just how long have you been sewing? Because sewing is not technically hard. It's more so terminology is what makes sewing the hardest. All right, I'm going to now add the slip pocket on, and I'm just going to add the slip pocket on to the right side to the wrong side. How long have you been sewing? And what I'm doing is I'm looking outside because I am following a pattern that I had to kind of alter because the lady didn't have instructions. So you see me leaning off to the side, looking at the Yes, I can sew my pieces out here. Yes. Yeah, I'm in St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. All right, so let's go ahead and get this slip pocket added on. This is so awkward. Now, I've made bags in the past, but like I said, this is a bucket bag. I've never made one of these, and this is a little awkward for me, but we're going to get it done. Again, she did not have
a seam allowance. So I'm just going to go in at a 1/4 inch seam allowance. But I also do come home frequent, and I bring my stuff when I come back to the States. I'm originally from Delaware. Yeah, it's a beautiful island. You don't need a passport to come out here. I will tell you, to live here is completely different than to visit as a tourist. I'm gonna put a couple more stitches on the end, but it's definitely a beautiful place to come and visit. I think everyone should come and visit, especially everyone of our race. Definitely should come and visit. St. Thomas, I believe it's really a beautiful experience. I don't know if you know I Showed Skeet. I think I'm saying his name right. I'm older, so I'll be getting mixed up. He was just out here meeting the original Tainos. I did notice that he came to a carnival or carnival. Yes, that's me. I was at the Garment District. Yeah, so we were home. We were home during that time because my husband had some medical issues he had to take care of. So we came home. So I used to shop at the Garment District when I was living in Delaware before we moved to Chicago, and I went, and unfortunately was a little disappointed. Are you from Philly? Okay. I just wanted to add a few more stitches because remember, I am using the denim as a lining. I am not doing any canvas or anything like that. I am using the denim as a lining. All right. I'm doing this a little bit different, something I've actually never done. All right, so I know what I have to do next is this is a slip pocket, so I do have to sew down in the middle. So I dropped some stuff. Oh, I love the Garment Districts in New York. I love New York's Garment Districts. I used to go up there all the time too because Manhattan's only 3 hours away from Wilmington, Delaware. It's really only a 3-hour drive. So you got one of the best Garment Districts between y'all and LA. Y'all the best. Dang, I forgot to go over it again. Y'all have the best. But I heard that a lot of y'all stores closed down in the Garment District as well. Probably because of, I guess I'm assuming because of COVID. But I used to love going to New York. New York was actually my first choice before Philly. Just so I can take that trip. Oh, okay. What part of New York are you in? If you don't mind me asking. All right. So now I'm just going to sew the center so I can lock in the center seam. So I need to find my center. So I'm going to match these seams up together to find the middle so I can put the center seam. And I'm going to just put a pin here so I know where the middle is. I used to, oh, okay, you're in Long Island. All right. My father used to have a timeshare in Niagara, but it was in Niagara, on the Canada side. I also used to like to go up there and go skiing in St. George's as well. So I'm just going to sew down the center seam. So I need to move my pen. Typically, I go live on Mondays, but this is a random live. Only because I didn't finish this the other day because my phone overheated really bad. And yesterday I was just extremely busy. So I didn't get to go live. All right. And I'm gonna have to, I think I'm gonna do a wish call for that because it didn't have that in instructions, but I'm gonna put a binding on there. So I actually have a sewing course. I've actually been sewing apparel for over 50 years. I do have a minimum course that I'm going to be putting out in August. We're still still putting up the course and stuff like that. And where I teach beginner courses. My daughters who are 37 and about to be 35, interesting, they never wanted to learn how to sew. And my youngest daughter told me a few months ago she wants to learn how to sew. Now my oldest daughter tells me today that she wants to learn how to sew. I'm like, really? After all these years, I've been trying to get you all to sew, and y'all never wanted to sew. Now all of a sudden you want to learn how to sew, but I'm glad that it's never too late. They want to learn. All right. So this is a slip pocket. We have the slip pocket finished. So I'm just happy that they're just ready to learn. All right, let's grab this. Let me see where we are. Again, my phone is getting hot, so okay. All right. So actually, I'm going to end it here because I'm at 20%. It is extremely hot, and the battery is flashing again. Like I said, this is a fairly new phone. It's literally only 1 year old. I've been streaming off of my phone using my laptop using my phone for the camera, streaming through my laptop for over a year. I am not sure why all of a sudden it's getting hot. Yes. Yes, I do. I do have a class in the works. Because I do also get a lot of inbox messages. I do get a lot of people even on TikTok, because I do go live on TikTok. I'm scrolling sometimes. I go live more on YouTube, but I do have people come on TikTok and be like, "Oh, when you," so on TikTok, I'm a copper. Copper, when are you going to teach us how to sew, things of that nature? So I'm like, all right, it's time to get this course together. So I'm about 70% done with the course. I have something that's happening between the end of the month and June, so which is why I can't launch it in July. I have a big announcement I'll be making in another 2 weeks, so I'll be blocked off from the end of the month to the end of June. So I had to push it to August. But yes, I do have a new course coming up, and it is going to be apparel based. But it's going to also be the beginnings. So I have 2 TikToks. So my personal TikTok is, let me post it. On my personal TikTok, oops, can't spell that properly. Hold on. There we go. And then my business TikTok, which I just really started using. My other one, it's the same. My personal one, I teach about the truth of history. I also have a personal YouTube, and what I do on my personal YouTube and TikTok is teaching a truth about who the original people of this land is, because a lot of us don't know. A lot of people think that other people are the original people of this land, and it's actually not true. It is us. We're the original people of this land, and I teach about that. I show history, government documents proving that.
because there are government documents to prove who we really are and prove who we're really not. I use government documents for that proof because they know who we are and they do have it documented. So that's what I teach on my 2 personal pages. My personal one is Cocker Chippewa as well. At least on here on YouTube. I just started that one literally. I just started that. I only have 2 videos up on there. I will be going live on Sunday on there where we're supposed to talk. I want to talk about there. For anybody's watching, I want to be talking about the quote that Malcolm X made, where he talked about the most unprotected person in America is the Black woman. I'm gonna word it that way, which I don't use the word Black, and I teach why I don't use the word Black and why no one should use the word Black. But we're gonna go live on Sunday on my TikTok as well as my YouTube. But I prefer everybody to come to YouTube because TikTok is starting to drain the heck out of me. And I know they're probably gonna take that page. They're gonna take that page because there's 2 groups of people going to be upset about the truth, even when they see it in black and white. But I want to talk about that because I think we're in a day and age where it is time for us to come together and start building each other up, especially knowing that we're the landowners of that land. And when people really find out who they are, it is better for them to know where they're going. And so if I can teach it to my 2-year-old granddaughter, then, and adults should grasp it, should be able to comprehend it. But that's what's going to happen on Sunday. I'll be going live again on Monday here on my Camellia Halt page. I got another bag that I'm going to be making, as well as I have a couple orders for a couple more bucket hats. So I'll be doing that on Monday. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the bucket hats on Monday or just the bag or maybe even both. But I got to get to T-Mobile to find out why all of a sudden my phone is getting hot when I go live because it wasn't doing that before. It only gets hot when I go live through StreamYard. So I've got to get that together because one day I felt like it was going to explode. But I do appreciate everybody who has came in to support the live. I know it's a random live. I just randomly jumped on just to get some work done. I do have some stuff I have to get done today. I was supposed to be live early, but I appreciate everybody who came by that showed some support, that show some love. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn your notification bells on so you'll know when I go live, because I don't always go live the same time all the time because there's other things going on, but most times I do go live on Mondays and Thursdays typically. So I so appreciate every last one of you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see y'all in the next video. Sorry. Why is it not ending? Don't want to end. Here we go.